So the good news is apparently the chief of police and the new city manager, Jared Atkinson, have come up with a way to get money for new police officers, beat officers.
Right, they have. Usually in the past years they've gotten a grant that helped with that. It was a grant that allowed them to have a little money toward that until they could figure out a way to work them in the budget. That grant didn't come through this year, so instead what they're going to do is take $180,000 from the general fund and $180,000 from unspent overtime, police overtime, to fund the officers. The city already had the money budgeted for the equipment for the officers, but they didn't have the money for the salaries because they were hoping for that grant. This will add 6 more patrol officers and the street cops, and they will be they'll be among I guess we have about 200 that work around the clock on 4 shifts. So
6 will probably relieve some of them out there if they're putting in a lot of extra hours, and I know that they are.
Right, and it's been a big goal of the commission to work toward that.
And Zargus, over there at Centerport, got a tax abatement from the city.
Yes.
$85,000?
Well, not $85,000 is not the city's portion.
Oh, okay.
That's the portion that all the jurisdictions that tax property at Centerport would be giving a year in tax abatements. The city's portion is about $24,000 of that. The tax abatement's been approved by the Panhandle Groundwater Conservation District. It's also been approved by Amarillo College. So the only entity left to approve it is the county. Zargus makes the elevators and the platforms inside the wind energy towers. They are getting AEDC, Amarillo Economic Development Corporation, is building a $5 million building for them at Centerport. They are leasing it, and their lease is based upon the number of jobs they create and other things that they do. The idea is for them to pump supposedly about $3.5 million into the economy annually, so that's the trade-off for the $85,000 in abated taxes.
It would be worth it, right?
Yeah. So
if it works that way.
And they're supposed to create 200 jobs by 2012. Okay. So.
And water, you mentioned groundwater. They also are wanting to get a grant, I guess the City Commission, through the feds, through the Texas Water Development Board, and in order to build a pipeline from the Osage water treatment plant to one at Arden and Colton.
The Arden Road pump station, yeah. The reason for that is because it's going to maximize the use of that new well field we're building by taking the water, getting it to the treatment plant, and then getting it to the part of town that is experiencing the most growth. The pot of money that we're asking for $15 million from is about $40 million, so they acknowledge it's a long shot. But if they get it, it would be matched by $5 million by the city, and that money would come from what they haven't spent that they thought they would on the Potter County wellfield construction.
So it came in lower than expected.
Came in lower than expected. That money's coming to the city at a 2.9% or 2.09% interest rate, so it's really low interest money, and if they can use the underspend on that project for this project, they kind of get an extra bonus out of it.
All right, Karen Welch, thanks so much for joining us this morning.